Hello, my guitar friends. Is everyone listening to me? You can write in the chat, or even you can put your camera on if you want, okay? Yeah, so let's wait a few seconds, okay, until we have a couple of more people joining. Great, everything's fine. Fantastic. Amazing. All right. Oh, here I have some images. You can put your camera on, my friends, if you want to, okay? Then I can see your face. Just make sure to mute the audio, okay? Otherwise, we might have some problems of feedback and things like that. But you can turn your camera on, okay? Just make sure that you put the audio off. I've done. All right. Now we're cooking. Great. I can see some faces. All right. Let's wait a little more, okay, my friends, because I have people all over the world, and there are some places where right now it's like early in the morning, or even it's too early. For jazz guitar players, it's too early. Yeah. Okay, you can put your camera on, but notice that you must put your audio off. Okay. Florida, fantastic. Let me check the, yeah, see you and hear you. Great. Hello, Andrew. How are you, my friend? Hello, Harry. Audio, okay. No camera, can you see me? I mean, can you see me? Yes. Oh, great. Fantastic. Okay, just let's wait a little more until people are joining us. And today, I would say that this is the most important day of my life, because I will, as I was mentioning before, I will offer something that I never did before, never ever. So, and to be honest, I mean, a couple of days ago, as you might have seen, I mean, I got really pissed off because, I mean, you know, I was like tired to see people on internet like offering you bullshit, you know, like the secret on how to improvise, how to become a jazz improviser, you know, things like that. So, or the secret how to master the jazz scales, or how to, would you like to know the scales on all the chords, man? You know, that's, I was kind of tired, and I had to go to someone else, and I stayed there for in a very far away place. I stayed there for 2 months, you know, low profile, like no internet, no like I was doing a detox from social medias, you know, because I was really tired, you know, like to see things like that. Anyway, and I come to the conclusion as that as much as I help with the George Benson method, as I mentioned before, that there was something that was missing, something that I really wanted to to bring you or to offer you. Okay. And something that was really important mainly when I was learning with George Benson, because you can't forget that I was George Benson's student for more than 15 years. So, and I learned just put audio off, audio off. Who the hell has the audio on, please? Oh, here. Okay, audio off, my friends, please. And I was talking about that I learned with George Benson during 15 years. I mean, face to face. This was a game changer to myself. It was really a game changer because, I mean, I had been studying George Benson since I was 10, you know. And however, when I met him, I was in my early 20s, you know. So I was super comfortable with his ideas and things like that. However, I mean, the day I remember exactly the day I met him. I mean, audio off, please. Audio off, audio off. All right. So the day I met him, everything has changed, you know, because I saw him doing things that, and then I could only understand determinate type of things because I was in front of him. I saw his hand. I talked to him, and then I mean, there was one Peter Farrell before George Benson and another Peter Farrell after George Benson. Okay, so it was inner experience or experience that I don't have I cannot express to you how it was because it was so special. And that's why I decided to do a face-to-face event, okay, where I will be showing you the George Benson Code, okay? So, and what is the George Benson Code? First of all, you have to understand what the George Benson method is, okay? So don't get me wrong. Some people will think that the George Benson method is about learning how to play like George Benson or learn how to play exactly like George Benson or George Benson songs or breathing, you know. But although the songs are awesome and I love them on Broadway, breathing, you know, I was born listening to it, but this is not my point. What I'm offering you is a change of pattern. I'm offering you a change of system. And yes, the George Benson method is a change of system. You know, that's why I'm a kind of tired of this bullshit. People offering you, oh, learn this scale, learn some studies, some classical studies, or learn this lick or whatever. You know, I mean, things won't change, my friends. Please understand this. Nothing will change if you don't change the system, if you don't change the pattern you've been on for so long. Now, honestly, think with you, like how good you are, like since 10 years ago. Did you are you super different? The way you play nowadays is super different from 10 years ago. Honestly, think about it, you know. And guess what? It can't be like that. This is wrong. It can be. You cannot like stay 10 years without like at least becoming like 100% better, you know. I mean, so that's why I was talking to some students, and you know that this is insane. And what people are offering you is actually I don't like to say that they are liars, but the thing is that they have no idea what they are talking about, you know, because when you offer something for people, you have to offer something different, you know. I cannot tell you that, oh, you're going to be better, you're going to become a better musician if I offer the same thing. If I offer the same food for you, like rice, beans, and chicken, And okay, hey guys, I have something for you. I'm gonna have rice, beans, and chicken. How the hell you want to change this? If you choose rice, beans, and chicken every day, what do you think you're gonna have? You're gonna have rice, beans, and chicken. So if you want to change the pattern, and if you want to change the system, now is the time. And looks like, oh, Peter is just one more guy that is trying to sell something to myself. But guess what? I'm not sure if you know, but teaching is what I love to do. I could have a career as a sideman because I've played with so many famous guys as a sideman. I could have my career as a artist, like concerts and all over the world, just like I was starting my career a long time ago. But I decided that my duty, or the thing that I really love, is teaching. I think that teaching is the legacy I will leave to the world. And the legacy is so important to myself. This is how my kid will remember me. This is how my wife will remember me. This is how everyone will remember me. This is my legacy. That's why I'm saying I got pissed off, because teaching is my legacy. It's what I really love to do. However, I cannot choose for you. I can choose for you. And I used to say that what determine our destiny are not the chances we have, but the choices we make. So when I decided to follow George Benson, I had no money. I had nothing in my life, So, but I did. I found a way to do it. Why? Because it was important to me. It was more important to me than anything else. And I have found a way. I got some money here. I lent money from my friend, and I sold a guitar, and I did, because I wanted that, So audios off, please, 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 please. So what I'm trying to say is that what you need is a change of system. Okay, just like let's say like that. Nowadays, you guys are old PC Windows, okay, which is great. It goes, you have internet, you can surf on many websites, you can download things. However, once you go Mac, you never go back, I'm doing advertisements for Apple. But anyway, we know that Apple, they are faster than Windows PC, So when you change a system, everything changes. And what the George Benson method offers you is a change of system, something that will allows you to develop your technique, knowledge, and a concept like in 20 years, in 1 year, or maybe more. I have some students that they say, Peter, I've been studying for 30 years and I have never, ever learned so much in my life. This is insane. Why? Because this method was made to work. This is not bullshit. As I was mentioning, my legacy is my teaching. So do you really think I would put my legacy on the table without being awesome, without being something that wow, at least wow, No, when myself and George, we created this method together, we decided that we would do the best guitar methodology ever made. Okay, they were something different. But anyway, I have you can think that, oh, Peter's just talking. I really want to see if this is really truth. However, I will ask some of my students that they are here. Okay, so I invited them to be here with me because they can tell you that this is not bullshit. They can tell you about this method and what they think about this method, or is it really a change of pattern or not? Okay, is it really worth, or but Peter, I'm not sure if the method is for me. So you don't have to believe me, but you have to believe people that have changed their lives forever with this methodology. So Dave Workman, are you there?
Unmute. Hello.
Hello. So can you tell our friends here honestly, okay? So, I mean, this is not nothing, I didn't say, Dave, you must say this, so he's gonna say whatever he wants to, okay? So did I ask you to do something, Dave, or are you free to say whatever you want to?
You did. You asked me to come on and watch the Zoom.
Yeah, but I'm
No,
I'm saying, not. Did I tell you, you must say this, you must say this? No, I mean, are you being honestly or not?
Honestly, Peter, he doesn't tell anybody to say anything, but and he says what he likes when he likes, that's for sure. No, it just in a nutshell, my experience, gee, I'm 74 years old. I've been a professional guitar player since high school, mostly operating with, within the fields of blues, Chicago blues, Albert King, B.B. King, that sort of thing. And a street player. But I've been a huge jazz fan and loved all of the jazz guitar players and Pat Martino and George Benson, and these were my gods and stuff. But I thought, I dabbled a little bit, but that wasn't my gig. I was making money, I was popular, and like the girls came to hear. So, I had sort of, I'd learn a little lick here and there, and I said, oh God, this is going to be drudgery. If I figure this out, I got to memorize 80,000. I approach it like, is it going to be a lick thing? Is it going to be like, do I have to buy a book on 118 251s and like plug them in and stuff? And it was just, no, it was overwhelming. It was too much. But, I through a friend became acquainted with Peter and the method. And I listened to it. I said, wait a minute, some things started to click. The light bulb went on. And so I jumped in and, Herbie's not going to call me next week to do a duo gig, but the thing is, the way Peter puts things together in the method is it is a method. And if you start following it, then you learn the building blocks of the music and the vocabulary. You're not just stuck with memorizing something and not knowing why it works or how.
Now tell them, is it the same as the other methodology you've seen before?
Man, are you kidding me? I'm going to be throwing away a bunch of music books when I move here the next time. No, I've seen all the books. I've subscribed to the True Fires, and it's what I like to call sort of like lateral progress. You're not going up. You're not getting, you have a plateau and you want to go up. You want to jump that plateau. But all the things that you buy and stuff is a lateral move. It's a lateral progression. You learn a few new licks. You don't know what they are. You don't know where to use them. You might use them wrong. I know I have. I've shed it for a week on a lick. I went to try it on the gig, and it just sounded like worse than like the worst shit you ever heard in your life.
I mean, then
I didn't know the DNA of the line, as you put it, the DNA of the line.
This is a big problem because usually people that they go nowadays, they have the websites where they have tons of lessons and lessons with great musicians. Don't get me wrong, but the thing is that if you think that you're going to learn doing one lesson with the musician B and another lesson with musician C and another lesson, man, you're not changing any pattern. Just like Dave mentioned, you're just going lateral. You're not going to the next step. You're just doing like this. And guess what? In 10 years, you will be the same you are nowadays. So we are offering you something different. Again, I have to say this a million of times because you have to understand this. is a change of pattern, is a change of system, so Dave, how can you define how much you have improved, or if you have to say, how many years do you think you have jumped in a couple of months? Can you tell us about this?
Probably 4 or 5 at least, I would imagine, for me at my age and my experience, like, because I went and jumped into pool. I try to change my, my technique as well, and just a quick note on that, as Cheryl Bailey says, it can be heart-wrenching because my old technique fell apart, and I was at this limbo part where, like, I couldn't play the old way. I couldn't play the George Benson way either, just on a technical right hand, left hand, coordination level. So I lost a lot of shit for a while, but fortunately it was during COVID and I didn't have no gigs for a year and a half or two, but I'm out of that. And even if you just follow things on a technical level, you will jump like several years, because I'm faster and cleaner, and it's still coming together.
And do you think it's worth the money you've paid for the method?
No buyer's remorse here. No. And all the people that are watching should understand that I'm a poor retired musician on like a meager Social Security, and I own all the books and a bunch, some of the, not all, but a great portion of the video packs and all the products, and I've worked with them, and yes, it's well worth it. Like I said, just on a technical level, great. And now I'm understanding concepts. That's a big thing. Understanding concepts and how all this works, and stuff that ain't taught in the 101 books. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or learning the stuff that's not in the book or not in the other books.
Of course. So you are a member of my guitar community as well.
Absolutely. Wouldn't do it without it.
Yeah. So thanks, Dave.
That's where the real stuff is.
Stay there, Dave. Okay. There is someone with the audio on. Someone is practicing.
Mute yourself, somebody.
All right. So Paul Westbrook, are you there, my friend?
Yes.
Hey,
I'm here.
How
Hi,
are
Peter.
you?
How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Good. Very good. Thank you.
Thanks for participating. So honestly, what do you think about the George Benson method, or do you think it was? What do you think about it? How do you define the George Benson method for people that might be interested on that here?
I truly believe it's amazing. The amount of gains I've made in the couple of years that I've been with the community and working with the books has given me the most advancement I've had in my life. I've been playing since I was 12 years old. I've actually gone to university and taken private lessons from a number of teachers, but nothing has given me the gains that the method has. And I'm being honest, guys. I'm being very truthful.
Which is the difference, if you can tell us the big difference about the George Benson method and the other lessons? What can you define this to yourself?
Sure. Yeah, I think the method is just that. It is a method that brings you from A to B and C and beyond. It maps it out for you from the beginning when you're dealing with the secret of the two chords, and then it just layers on top of that more complexity. But it's very easy to use, and it's very easy to understand, and it gets under your fingers really fast, as opposed to other methods or other approaches that just seem to be scattered. And you get a line here, you get a piece there. This method just brings you from the beginning through various phases and has you playing jazz as quick as possible. And the lines are just beautiful. They're just really melodic, and they really enhance your playing a lot, as well as other factors as far as the technique. I've been struggling with technique my whole life, trying to play guitar. And again, the advances that I've made under this method with my technique has been really amazing and really quick compared to the amount of time that, we all know that needs to go into learning guitar.
Thanks a lot, my friend. Thanks a lot. Okay.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you for developing this method.
Thank you.
I'm not just selling it. I'm not a salesman. I'm an accountant by trade, but it really works, guys.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Artur Fiol. Hello, my friend.
Hey, how you doing, Peter?
I'm fine. And you?
Great.
So what can you tell us, what do you think about the George Benson method and the difference you could realize between the George Benson method and the other steps you've been doing before?
First of all, I want to thank you for inviting me to this meeting. I just want to echo those guys. And I feel the same way. I've been playing ever since I was about 12, 13 years old. I went in the military for 20 years. I played in a lot of military bands, a lot of military groups, and I struggled. I played different styles of music, but I struggled just like these guys with technique and trying to find a sound that, that's unique. And I mean, I've been a big George Benson fan for years. I'm 63 years old, so it goes all the way back. With Peter's method, man, I'm gonna tell you, it shaved off months and years off I had to scrap my own techniques. The old technique, I did a lot of sweeping, like I followed Frank Gambale. I want to get that type of technique. And it's like, it just wasn't happening. I bought his books and videos and, different techniques from different online music courses. And it's like, I was still in the same rut. Peter's method broke me out of that rut. It's given me a second life, if you would. And I'm telling you guys, he is the best. And I'm going to his seminar. So that tells you anything. I even bought 2 George Benson guitars just to go there. That's how I'm excited. I got the other one in today, Peter.
Oh, nice, my friend. Let me know as soon as you get it.
Yeah. So
thanks a lot, my friend.
Thanks
a lot for being here with us. Okay.
Thank you.
Staff Z, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, Peter. Hello, everybody.
Hey, my friend. How are you?
Great.
Feeling great?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And
So
happy to be here.
Can you tell the other guys what honestly do you think about the George Benson method and how it has affected your musical life and things like that? What do you honestly think about it?
Okay. Yes, I'm happy to and eager to do that. Peter asked me some time ago to do a video endorsement, and as a guy who's spent a lifetime in music but long since retired, I'm 75. I find that suddenly I'm intimidated to turn on the record button, so I haven't done it yet. So this gives me a chance to work on that material, and I swear it's the gospel. One of the things that I want to say about the George Benson method, I'm just answering somebody who goes by the handle SA here, who asks how much better can it be than transcribing a Benson solo. I'm curious. So I'm trying to explain to him that transcribing a Benson solo is wonderful. That's just the beginning. Do you understand what you're transcribing? Can you work that into your own language and apply it in other contexts and think on the fly and hear this stuff in other people's playing? And I have to say that in the past year since I've been studying with Peter, I can hear 1,000-fold more than I could before. I have a degree in music and composition and theory, so I understand the stuff, but it's always been a mystery to me when I hear people play. Joe Henderson, all these people play. It always is a mystery to me. How do they do this stuff? So, but I'm starting to understand it better. I can hear more, and that makes a huge difference. When I listen to the radio now, I hear lines and I recognize, oh yeah, I know that line. That's a huge leap forward for me. So that's one thing. Peter just introduced us to a concept called the hidden chords, which is just a mind-blowing concept, and I can't wait for the video to come out, Peter. That's enough material to work on for the rest of your life. Just taking a simple 2-5-1 pattern and being able to work it in an endless array of ways that I had never thought of, taking it far out, keeping it close in. That's one piece of it. Sorry, I'm bubbling over with enthusiasm here, so I got to contain my thoughts. And then there's the technique. The technique that George developed, that Peter has taught us, it just makes so much sense. I can't tell you how many times, and I'm sure you all know this, you've all hit it up against trying to figure out playing something and you want to play, but the picking isn't right. You have to skip over a string to get to something, and it's just awkward and clumsy, and it doesn't work consistently. You can't rely on it. Well, the George Benson method addresses that. The way George and Peter have thought this through addresses all of that, and it makes playing pretty much any line you can think of easy. And if it can't be played, don't play it. Move on.
So thank you, my friend. Thanks
yeah.
a lot for participate here with us. Okay.
My pleasure.
Well, I would like to answer a question of who the hell did this? Oh, that was what you were mentioning, Steph, about the how much better can it be than transcribing Benson solo? I mean, how much better? You can't compare, my friend, the George Benson method if you try to transcribe George Benson. But you know what? Nobody on earth studied George Benson like me. Nobody. And how do I know that? Because since I was 10, I used to study George Benson like 18 hours a day. Like 16 hours a day, George Benson, and more George Benson. No, George Benson on Monday, George Benson on Tuesday, George Benson at night, George Benson at lunch, George Benson at dinner, George Benson my vacations, George Benson after, I mean, even when I was with my girl, that put George Benson, like, you know what? So I was a George Benson, like, real fan, like I love this. And when I was a kid, I remember the first time I heard him playing, I cried. I was 10 years old. I remember one of my teachers on that time put George playing. He was playing the ballad called Being With You. On that time, I used to like rock and roll, like, Guns N' Roses or, Alice in Chains and, bands that I still love, It's not because I'm a jazz guitar player that I don't like the Scats. Actually, I love them as well. But the thing is that on that time, everything jazz was new to me, So I heard George Benson and I was shocked. I was just like an arrow on my chest. Boom! Said, oh! That's the way I want to play. That's what I want to do. And I was 10. And I remember that there was some cats in the living room with me in the guitar school, and they were laughing about me. Oh, poor kid! Oh, this is a poor kid! You want to play like George Benson? So they were like that. And guess what? Most of them are my students nowadays. They're like, the word is weird. So, but anyway. Why I'm telling you this? Because the George Benson method has nothing to do about transcribing George Benson. If you transcribe George Benson, the thing is that you might learn the notes, you might learn oh, this is a beautiful lick. Okay, but think with me. Every people in the whole world can do that. Nowadays, you have programs where like put the speed down or up. Everyone can learn the notes. This is not something that, oh, you got the notes. I mean, you have to know the language, how he creates those lines. It's not, oh, otherwise you're gonna just be a copy, a parrot, And if you just transcribe George Benson, probably you will be a parrot, copying the lines, because once you learn one of his lines, you have to understand the concept behind it. Why the hell he played the terminal notes? Why the hell he used that one combination with the other? And I can tell you, there is a science on that. It's not something that, oh, no. George Benson studied step by step, like each movement he does, his words to myself, So Peter, I had to study everything I was doing. I have to learn all the possibilities one by one, So in the beginning, I was lost. So for those that don't know, I was George Benson's student for more than 15 years. Yes, 15 years. Some of you might say, oh, 15 years, why the hell? Who the hell studied 15 years with someone else? The thing is that I live in Brazil, so I had to travel. Actually, I travel all over the world until I become George Benson's student. I follow him all in like many different countries: Italy, France, Australia, USA, Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, Holland, many, I mean, everywhere, So, and I decided to follow him. So I use a motorcycle, I use a car, airplane, boat, ferry. I was on foot, everything you say, everything you can imagine, I did to follow him, until he said, okay, Peter, I mean, you've been doing that for so many years. Now it's time let's do something about it, And then, but George is not a teacher. So I remember that my first lessons with him, I was a kind of lost, and I said, man, I remember the first lessons. I remember that I was sad because I had George Benson in front of me, and guess what? I knew that he was playing a determinate scale, or he was playing things that even I knew, because I had his lines under my fingers too. But the thing is that I want to know how I could create my own shit just like him. How can I do this? How can I make what you're doing without becoming a parrot, And then I remember that he started explaining so many things, and I was like, wow, I have no idea what he's saying. And so I guess, so I had to develop a map to myself in order to say, all right, I know where I am now, and I can keep going. Otherwise, I will be just in front of me. Oh, George, you are amazing. You are fantastic. Congratulations, you are the best. But that is not what I wanted on that time. I wanted to know what was under the curtains, That's why I call George Benson Code. And yes, there are so many secrets, but tons of secrets that take you to this code. And it's not random. And if you try to only transcribing, won't reveal this to you. Not at all. I don't know, not even one guy in the whole world that has decoded this. No one. And why the hell I did? Because I was with him. I was with him 15 years, asking him building something. Okay, so now he mentioned about the chord combined with this. So, so I was building the whole picture because I was with him face to face. You know, I ask him about things that about what to do in determinate chords and what not to do. How can I do rhythmically speaking, harmonically speaking, melodically speaking? It was a real journey, you know. So that's different. The difference. I mean, if you just transcribe George Benson, you might play super fast, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the correct articulation, the correct technique, because you might play the same notes he's playing and your lines will sound as shit. Why? There is someone with the audio. Someone with the audio. Let me see this. Turn off the audio. Who the hell is the audio? Let me see this. Wow, someone with the fucking TV. Oh, audio off, please. I cannot see. Wow. Hold on a second. Wow. All right. Now we are cooking. Just like George used to say that every time I used to play something good for him, and they're like, what? Now you're cooking, baby. So he used to say that. You know, so that's what I'm trying to say about transcriptions. Transcriptions are good, don't get me wrong, okay? They are fantastic, but you have to know how to deal with transcriptions, because I've done this for many years, transcribing, and you know what? I didn't know the code. Even after transcribing all his solos and all the lines and all the licks, all the best licks in the whole world. When I was 13, I used to be known as a prodigy, like, oh, this is the little George Benson. When I was 13, 12, 13, you know, people on the music scene used to call me, oh, this is the son of George Benson, the little George Benson, because I knew all the licks, you know, but that was not the point. The point is that how can I go beyond that? How can I build lines and build ideas just like George Benson? And that's why I created this method. And guess what? Nowadays, you can learn this too. It's a legacy that I'm passing for you guys, you know? So, here, Renata, how are you?
Good, Peter. Happy Friday, everyone.
So can you tell them, because I knew that you were in one of this jazz camps. You don't have to mention the name, but you were in many jazz camps, and you've been doing lessons all over the world with so many great or big names. How do you define the George Benson method? I mean, how do you define the difference between the George Benson method and the other things that you've been doing before the George Benson method?
Yeah, so I think, first of all, I had the honor to play or to have lessons for great musicians that you listen to or have heard their records. And a lot of them knew how to play, but didn't know how to explain or teach you what they were playing. So the first part was that. It's like, okay, I see what you're doing. I can't do what you're doing. The other piece too was structure, right? Because things were not connected. They would come up with ideas, or they would show, oh yeah, this is how you use the diminish, but they didn't tell you about the things that led up to that concept or what else you could do with that. So things were very piecemeal, and it was very hard for me to connect, okay, this knowledge with other pieces of knowledge. It was almost like somebody who read paragraphs from a book, but didn't have, the chapters and what happens before and after. So the storyline wasn't clear. And then the other piece too and I've been studying with Peter now for almost a year, this creation of common language, right? Like the secret of two chords, and the scale arpeggios, and the lines, and the different types of situations. Is almost like you're learning Lego pieces, and later you start how to connect them together, and you make different whatever it is that you want to create. So at some point, the stuff starts to connect and becomes really powerful. And, I tried taking lessons from a bunch of people, and it was a lot of time. And with Peter, in less than a year, my playing evolved a decade.
I mean, how, if you could say, how many years do you think you jump when you start doing the George Benson method? How many years you just jump? Like, if you could say.
Yeah, I mean, like I said to the community, it was like 9 years and 9 months, right? When I kind of posted it. Because I tried with other folks for 2 to 3 years, and it was very incremental. And then the past 9 months, it was, everything started coming together in a really powerful way.
And this is people, I think people nowadays, they don't understand the word method or methodology. Okay, so everyone says, oh, I have a method, I have bullshit. I mean, some might have, but I mean, honestly, I don't know a real methodology that is apart from the George Benson method. Why? Because everything is connected just like a chain. That's why it's possible for you to learn the code. Okay, George Benson's code. And it's possible to learn because you go step by step. And guess what? If you don't go step by step, you can transcribe as much as you want. You can study as much as you want. I mean, some people will become musicians or will become better musicians because, I mean, but this is like 0.5%, okay, of people. And why do you think, like, when you go to Berkeley, for example, jazz school, which is in my opinion, is a shit school, okay? They don't teach you anything there, So, but when you go to Berkeley, for example, you have like 200 guys, 200 students there, okay? Why the hell do you think, oh, maybe 2 are great, 2 of them or 3 of them, or they got to the next stage? Do you really think it was the fucking school that did that? Bullshit. It wasn't. What some people will know how to walk by themselves, but this is 0.0000001%. Okay, so but once you have a methodology, okay, or step-by-step guide with a different system, not only using, oh, this is a step-by-step guide, you're going to learn the Dorian scale, the harmonic minor scale. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So you have to understand that the bebop language or the George Benson language, okay, it's something that you don't need to know about those things. Actually, you will need, but you will learn, for example, about scales in a completely different way. You will approach all the subjects that people used to play in a completely different way. And guess what? Nowadays, you can see that people, they improvise. Oh, this is a C major chord, and I will play this scale. This is a D minor, so I will play this scale. It's not like that Charlie Parker, Cannibal Adderley, Herbie Hancock, George Benson, it's not like that. This is not what they do, okay? So there are so many secrets, so many codes that allows them to use determinate things that are not in the chord. So I remember that I used to transcribe, still about the question of Seba about transcriptions. You might transcribe, but so many moments you will see, why the hell he did this in this chord? And then guess what? You transcribe, say, okay, I got the line, and then I will put this line in another song. Yeah, I've been doing this for so long. And guess what? When I used to play my line, it used to sound a shit. I say, man, I'm playing the fucking notes exactly note per note, and it wasn't sounding, not even interesting. Say, man, but I'm playing the same line over the same chord. And then sometime later, I said to myself, Peter, you are an idiot. Man, it can't be like that, because once I started learning the code, I started realizing that, man, it's not like that. So we have to analyze the line by itself, not according to the harmony that is happening, because George Benson and all the other cats, they don't see one chord. Oh, D minor, G7, C major. No. It's over D minor and G7, they see a lot of combinations and chord substitutions, things that George told me that John Coltrane used to call chord stacking, you know? So it's not about what you do, but how you do. And how would you apply determinate subject? How would you apply a simple major 7 arpeggio? How can you do that? In a very interesting way, because you can combine things different. And yes, there is a step-by-step to combine it. And the fact that I was face-to-face with George Benson made all the difference. You know, as much as I help you a lot with the George Benson method books, with the George Benson method video lessons, which are fantastic, and this will change your life forever, no doubt. However, I decided to do a live or a face-to-face event or private event or a presential event, whatever you want to call it, which is going to happen in Phoenix. Why Phoenix? Because Phoenix is where George Benson lives, you know? So in this event, it's going to be 5 days, full days with me, okay? 5 days. It's not just a common or an ordinary workshop. It's 5 days workshop with me from morning till night. A unique opportunity. And yes, those that know me know that I'm a kind of crazy, that I have no time for ending things, you know? So, but apart from this, we are offering you something even more special, because apart from this event of 5 days presential event with me, we are offering 6 weeks preparation before this event. Why? Because during the 6 weeks, I kind of open my wallet for you, because I will show you all the combinations and all the things that I do, the combinations that I've chosen to myself, you know? So it's deeper than the books, and it's deeper than video lessons. It's something that I never did before. And there are so many rhythmic studies that unfortunately, I cannot teach you guys online. It's impossible, okay? So Peter, what was the difference between when you were learning by yourself and when you studied with George Benson? The big difference was because I was face to face with him. And there are so many things that I do nowadays just because I was face to face with him. I was looking at his hands like 10 centimeters, you know. I was looking at how heavy he used to use or to pick, how he used to put his hands, and how he used to do with his mouth. Like, you know, so many things that I mean, not sure if you can understand this, but you know that it's just like when you play for an audience of 10,000 people on the screen, and you play for an audience of 10,000 people live in front of you. Okay, so the energy and the thing, it's completely different, you know? So this is something that I never did before. And guess what? It won't happen again. You have my word, it won't happen again. But Peter, is this your unique event you're going to do in your whole life? No. However, it will not have this quantity of hours with me. You know, for if you had to pay for the 6 weeks preparation with 2 lessons per week, I prepare you to the event, plus the 5 days event, let's say that it will stay 8 hours a day, man, you have to pay me at least more than $10,000 for that. And I have a couple of students here that they pay me this quantity of money for being my Skype lesson, to be my Skype students. you know, and I could do this if I could charge easily. I could, oh, here we have one guy. But I mean, I don't have to mention names, but I could easily charge 10,000 bucks for only for those people, Skype lesson, let's do an event, and okay. But my team actually wanted me to charge $10,000 for this event. Okay. And I said, you know what? Because the more I get, the more they get. So I told them, man, you know what? I don't give a fuck, because this is my first event, you know? So I want to bring people. I know, but it has to be something special, because unfortunately, I don't want more than 22 guys, no more. Okay. Why? Because I want to give attention for all of you. I want to feel what each one of you need. And actually, apart from the 6 weeks and apart from the event, I will create a personal daily studying for you, for each one of you. For each guy will be different, you know, because I need this to work. I need this because this is my first event. It's the first event and the biggest opportunity I've been given my whole life. You know, it won't happen again. And when I say it won't happen again, you have my word about this. When I started selling the George Benson Method books, I started selling them for 100 bucks. And I told them that time, say, buy it now, because later on you will pay a lot more. And that's what happened, you know? So now you have the unique chance to be live with me. And yes, we are talking about passing the torch, or we are talking about I'm passing to you the code. And yes, there is a code that I was mentioning. And without this code, you will be like moving in circles, you know, like just like Dave Workman was mentioning. You will be moving like laterally, you know, not going to the next level. Hold on a second, because there is someone with okay. So the idea of this event is to bring you the biggest experience of your whole fucking life, you know? So this is gonna be awesome. And guess what? The price right now, it's $6,000. However, as I know that there are some people that are coming from outside USA, the people that are coming from Australia, people coming from UK, people coming from France, Italy, Canada, you know, I will charge you $5,000 and pay, wow, $5,000. Now, let me ask you something. How much money have you spent with gear, with guitar pedals, with cheap lessons on internet? Okay, put this on everything. And now tell me how good you are after this bullshit. You know, are you a better musician? Honestly, probably not. Okay, like I can say that 99% not. Okay, so you've bought tons of lessons, tons of gear, tons of guitar, and then say, oh, 5,000 is expensive. Actually, it's really cheap for what you're gonna have, because this is a knowledge that you will take with you for the rest of your life. This is a knowledge that will put you in the next level. Why? Because it's not something for just a couple of months or something. Okay, I've learned this. No, it's a concept. You will change the system you are used to, and you will start thinking different. Like complex things will become easy things, and easy things will become complex. So, Matthias, are you there? You're driving? Don't crash the car, man. Do you want to talk, or are you driving? I think it's better if you keep driving, because nobody wants you to crash. Don't worry, keep driving, okay? Don't worry, don't worry. So again, this is a unique opportunity. The price of the event is $6,000, but we are giving you $1,000 discount, okay, which is gonna cost you $5,000 because we know that you have to fly, we know that you have expenses to do. So yes, and you have my word, this will not happen again. This is a unique opportunity of a legacy that I'm bringing to you. I'm not offering you bullshit, oh, you can play the scale like this. No, I will offer you a different system where I will open my wallet. I'll say, okay, I do like this. Why I do like this? I will show you the code, and this code can be used for the rest of your life and for everything you're gonna do. And it's different from everything you've seen before. We are not talking about scales. We're not talking about things that you will see in ordinary workshops. We are talking about a different system, a different concept, a different vision about music, you know, which unfortunately some of you will lose, will not be able to have this. But as I was mentioning, I cannot choose for you. What I can do is offer you the opportunity, but I can't say do it because it has to be with you. Okay, so make sure that, let me ask you, how much are you willing to spend? How many years are you willing to spend with ship lessons on the internet, ship Skype lessons with things? Because don't get me wrong, it's not because someone plays really well. It's not because of that he's a really good teacher. You know, and even if he's a really good teacher, so a random material won't change anything in your life, anything. Just like when you learn a language. So can you imagine, oh, I will learn English, for example. I say, oh, the book is on the table. That's everything I want to say. The book is on the table, you know? No, you really have to jump into the English lessons to understand this. But guess what? If you learn the book is on the table and then you go to Italian guy, oh, Peter Bello, start speaking Italian. So you learn just a few words in each language. You know what is going to happen? You won't say anything in any language. You will say, the book is on the table, my petito, Peter Bello. So you won't say anything because you didn't focus on something. And that's what I'm saying. If just like you go to the gym, okay? And I did that before. There was a time where I was getting a lot of money. I say, you know what? I will have like 3 personal trainers. Fantastic. One will teach me this, and the other one it's better in this. And you know what happened? Like 3 months later, I was the same way. Like nothing has changed. And I was completely lost because one of them say, oh, you must do this. And the other one, well, you must do this. I say, man, you know, I'm doing the thing that I was criticizing. and I was doing that, but on the gym. And then I decided to stay with just one personal trainer. And as soon as I did that, boom, you know, it was a game changer for me. You know, so this is, that's what I'm saying about the biggest problem of random lessons, because nowadays on the internet, everything is available. Do you think it's super difficult to find a material of a Dorian scale about the harmonic minor, about whatever? Okay, but let me tell you something. If you don't know the George Benson method, you don't know the hidden chords. And the hidden chords, it's what makes the difference, because you won't see scales, but chord sequences that you cannot see. So as you can transcribe how much you want, nothing will happen. Okay, so again, my offer for you is $5,000, which honestly, it's super cheap. Okay, super cheap. for the quantity of hours I will be with you guys. I'm not sure if you know, but for doing Skype lessons with me, I charge almost 10,000 bucks. Okay. And nowadays I have no more vacancy. Even if you say, Peter, I want no more vacancies, you know? So for judging by the quantity of hours you're going to be with me, this is nothing, you know? So $5,000 for, and remember, I only have 22 vacancies. Oh, even in this meeting here, we have 34. Almost, we can say that almost everyone will be out. Guess why? Because I have half of these 22 completed. I mean, the last 3 days, I offered this first to my students, you know, and they got it, you know, so which means that now you don't have 22 vacancies anymore. You only have 10. Okay, so yes, it's 10 vacancies right now, and so many of you will be out of this. I'm really sorry, but those that are interested in to jump to a new world, jump to a new word that you have no idea, you know, it's something magic. We can say that it's something magic because it's something that will change your career for the rest of your life. And guess what? Some of you say, Peter, but 5,000 is too much. But let me ask you another thing. Do you really think that if you play the way you play nowadays, you're going to play better gigs? You're going to play with better people? You're going to get better students? No, you don't. Play better. Play with better people. If you play better, you will be able to charge more for a lesson. I remember when I was a kid, I used to charge in dollars. I use actually my first lesson in English, okay, the international lesson, I used to charge $44 a month. It was $44 a month. It was a long time ago, you know. So I used to charge that because I wasn't sure if the guys would love, you know, and I wasn't like, but the thing is that as time people see that you were good, and nowadays, I mean, I charge $10,000. You know, like, of course, it's not for a month, obviously, but but it's a difference that you cannot even compare. You know, and why the hell it happened, you know, because some of you might say, oh, but Peter, you know what? You have George Benson with you, but guess what? 99% of people that are with me, they are not because of George Benson. They are with me because they know that I know the code and I know how to give you the code. I know how to pass the torch for you. I know how to change your life forever. And why I do that? Again, this is my legacy. Teaching is what I do. Teaching is my duty. I do not teach because I need to. Thanks God. I don't teach because I don't need money for teaching. You know? So thanks God I'm a fortunate guy, but I teach because I love. I could just sell my books, sell my video lessons, and honestly, I'm in a very good level of money, you know, but teaching is my legacy. It's what I love to do. And if you go to the next step, if you play better, now we are cooking. That's what I want. I'm not talking about myself. I don't fucking care if it's, oh, Peter, you're fantastic. You know, fuck. Yeah, really, honestly, fuck off that I play really good, because you must play good. You must be the one. You must play the hell out of the guitar. This is my mission, because play the way I already play the way I always dreamed to. But now this is not what I want to reach in my life. What I want to bring you is the possibility of of you go to the next level and think by yourself, how many years have you been doing the same fucking things and nothing happened? And guess what? You are not guilty. You are not guilty, because I understand you are just trying to reach your dreams. But the thing is that I can honestly say that you've been fooled and you are going for a wrong place. Okay, so that's it, my friends. I will put here on the chat my email. Of course, you can go to peterferroguitar.com. That's my website. Okay, hold on a second. Peter Ferro. Actually, I'm gonna give you my personal email. Peter Ferro 18th .gmail or at gmail.com. Peter Ferro 1818 at gmail.com. It's in the chat here for you guys. Again, I only have 10 vacancies. After that, I'm really sorry. So don't be sad with me if I say no, I'm sorry, you lost. Okay, but honestly, I only have 22 people because we have to rent the studio in Phoenix. We have, and actually, why I'm doing in Phoenix, because the idea is to bring George Benson for the last day. I cannot promise you that he's going to be there 100% because he's an old man and he's also a star. So he might have a concert, or he might have a pain in his back. So I don't want to push him. However, I will be with him all those days, you know? So I'm trying to create all the ambience for him to be there with us. Okay. So I've talked to him yesterday, okay, about it. And he said, yeah, let's do it, Peter. Let's do it, my friend. You know, so I would say that in 90% of chances, I mean, it might not happen. Okay, so again, this is not a promise, but something that I'm doing my best for it to happen. Okay, so again, don't get upset if I said, oh, I'm sorry, you lose. Okay, not this time, because yes, I will do more events later. However, the price will be much higher. And you know what? The quantity of hours I will stay with you won't be this quantity of hours, because I will give preference for those that got my first event. Okay? So this is a unique chance. Okay? So I mean, I don't have anything more to say. You know, I'm really sorry if you lose this chance. I honestly say, I'm really sorry. But if you say, Peter, I have no money, bullshit. You just don't want. This is not your priority. And this is okay. There is no problem about it. If you don't want to participate, no problem at all. I mean, you know, but if you say, no, I want this so bad, I am the first to say, no, you don't want. Because the day I wanted to follow George Benson all over the world, I had 32 cents in my account. 32 cents. I remember this number. 32 cents in my account. No credit card. 32 cents in my account. You know what? Say, man, how the hell did you travel the fucking whole world with George Benson? Guess what? I talked to my friends. Please, can you lend me $1,000? Okay, man, can you? And my family is not rich as well. Not even my mom, not even my dad. No one in my family is rich. So I had 27 guitars, just like the ones you're seeing. I mean, all of them fancy guitars, because there was a time where the dollar and the Brazilian money was very similar. And then I buy guitars. And I was having lots of students because I was playing better, because I was already George Benson student, you know? So, and then I had to choose between having my fancy wall with guitars or follow my dreams. or follow George Benson all over the world. I slept in my car. I had to eat Wendy's. Are you guys are familiar with Wendy's? Wendy's is just like McDonald's with the, I mean, it's okay. It's just sandwich. It's okay. But Wendy's for 10 days, it's a pain in the ass, you know? So I had to choose between having lunch or having a dinner, you know? And once George Benson realized that I was living in my car, I was just having lunch and not without dinner, I say, no way, Peter, come over, man. No way, my friend. Why the hell didn't you tell me that? You know? I say, oh, George, I didn't want to disturb you, you know, something like that. But I have found a way. And actually, so many times I got no money to come back to Brazil again, and I had to call my friend, my mom, my friends. Man, I need just $300 more because the tickets they are higher, the price is higher right now, and I cannot go to Brazil anymore because I have no fucking money. And then I had to sell guitars, you know. And there was a time where I had no guitars. Peter Farrow has no guitars. Can you imagine that? I had only thing I had, it was a old nylon classical guitar that I could practice some lines, and you know, it was a shit. I have no money even to buy a string. On my flat that I used to live, I was like, the guys were every day like, Peter, you must pay for the flat. I say, oh, next week. And I had sold my car. I sold everything I had. And that's the reason I'm here nowadays. And that's the reason George Benson is with me. And George Benson was my teacher. That's the reason I built this method with George Benson. I had to choose between guitars or learn how to play the way I play. I mean, if I had chosen my guitars, probably nowadays I will be like praying for, does someone have a gig that plays $50? So probably I would be like that. And I know how hard it is for guys that live from gigs. But guess what? I realized that as soon as I was learning more and I became better, I started playing with better musicians. I started playing with different, and so if you play with better musicians, guess what? They invite you for more money. So you don't think about it, don't you? Say, so why the hell you want to do guitar lessons? Because you are idiot? I guess no. You know? So you have to think about it. Play better, get more money. Play better, play with your heroes. You know, it's a combination of things. Okay, so now unfortunately I have to go because I have some lessons, some students to take care, you know. All right for today, Renata. All right. So
All good.
hey Arthur, I've seen you got your guitar right now. Wow, congratulations. Woo. Yeah. Congratulations, my friend. You deserve it. I'm happy for you. Nice. So that's it, my friends. So again, as soon as I turn off this video, I mean, you have 10 vacancies, no more. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm really sorry. So don't get it personal. If I say, I'm sorry, guy, I cannot help you this time. Okay, so I will say again, unique chance, it won't happen again. So thanks a lot for your time, okay? So hopefully I will meet you in the social medias very soon. And also, if you want to have a look on the George Benson Method ebooks and video lessons, the sales are also open in my website, peterfarrowguitar.com. Peter Farrow, it's F-A Farrow, it's F-A-R-R-E-L-L, Farrow with double R and double L. Thanks a lot for your time. It was a pleasure to me talking about our favorite instrument, and I know that some of you work this time, and I mean, it was a pleasure to be here with you guys. So thanks a lot.
Thanks, Peter.
Thanks, Peter. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.